Hello everyone, I keep playing Deinosuchus, I grow it. This is my point of view on how I grow Deinosuchus. I just keep playing it and hopefully you learn something on how to play on officials. Again, it is officials. It's ruthless, sometimes frustrating, and the gameplay loop at the moment, because there is no header system, because there is no perks system, because there is a couple of things missing, so to say, is just grow, die, spawn back, grow, die, and spawn back. Nothing else. That's the gameplay loop, in my opinion, that we have. That's the thing. Now, where am I? I am at the Arch Waterfalls, I guess, Arch Waterfalls by Mossy River, and I need to get down to a good ambush spot. I will take the longest route though. I won't throw myself straight from the waterfalls. Again, I am not at 100%, so my stamina consumption is excellent. If you were hold your horses. Now, if you had been 100% Deinosuchus, you'd have depleted your stamina already. That's down there that we see is northwest, so not a place to go for Deinosuchus above all, unless you are really bored to play Deino and you want to switch it without even a fight. I mean, it's gonna be a slaughter. They're gonna slaughter you if you enter that spot. At least that's whatever. Whenever I go to certain places, I don't expect to survive very long. If I do, I consider myself lucky. So depending on where you are, you have certain spots to grow, certain spots where to a little bit of water, a little bit of a check left and right. I mean, am I even drinking? I think I am drinking, right? So Mossy River, you have certain spots that are actually better for skirmishes, certain spots that are... Is it swimming? That's a swimming animation. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I had no idea that boars had a swimming animation. And now I will drown you. What happened? Oh, it was a kill on sight. My lunge killed you, huh? Alright, I had no idea I was so powerful. So I'm gonna just grab you and take this boar with me. Yes, why not? I will take this boar with me. Because it can actually play bait for some Carnos and for some Utahraptors. Probably not here, but by a spot where I usually go, where I see plenty of people crossing too. It's a bit farther away, not that much farther. I just need to check, probably after this bend. There is this bend and then another bend going back on the west side, if I remember correctly. Well, this will be useful to use as bait if I place myself in a bush, or if I place this carcass inland, not by the riverbank, otherwise it's gonna be too obvious. It will be too obvious. I will place it inland on close enough to me. Assuming that everyone is coming from the left hand side of the river and they wanna go on the right hand side for this carcass. So I'm not gonna use at all the riverbank waiting for someone to come by and then launch. No, I will just launch them when they cross, or when they are nearby for a drink, if anyone dares. Again, this is not a good spot for drinking, but I come here for drinking with any terrestrial often, even though if you do a bit more downriver, if you go a bit more downriver in here, what's that? If you go a bit more downriver, you will find a very safe drinking spot. It's just out of being lazy that I drink here at times with my terrestrial. And some people come here to drink too. I don't know why. Probably they are lazy as well. But it has certain risks to drink in the spot where I'm gonna drop this boar. Not yet. You know what? I'm gonna sprint a bit just because I have a ton of stamina. Is it there? That's the bend I'm talking about. I just need to find a spot that I remember. The spot where I usually ambush with Deinosuchus. This is the spot. You see that big tree in front of me? That big tree in front of me, the one that my snout is touching. My snout is it has the roots over it. Well, that's the tree that is heading northwest, so to say, northwest. I'm going to check down below too, because at times plenty of dinos stay here. I mean, plenty, a couple, not many, but there is always someone that says, alright, I'm gonna risk and drop it there. So this boar will be laid up here on this hill. Again, if any terrestrial comes from this side, there is nothing much I can do. But on the other hand, I'm gonna leave it here. It's gonna be visible. You are very much visible. Alright, and from the other side, imagine there is some poor player that is hungry and they decide, alright, I might cross. I see something. It must be the boar that I am sniffing. Alright, let's risk it. Let's cross. This is not a very frequented spot, is it? And they will risk it. And, well, they will fall. Poor of them. Again, I'm not at 100%, so depending on who is crossing, I might be able to do nothing. Very much nothing. Very much nothing. Okay. Should I have a sneak peek on what's northwest? This is the prairie that is northwest. South of northwest, actually. That's the prairie south of northwest. I'm gonna sniff the air, just to know if there is some other carcass around. There is just that one that I dropped earlier. Alright, there is just that one that I dropped earlier. And another one, another couple over there. Okay, I might just be lucky enough to have some hungry carnivore coming this way. I hear Carnotaurus too. That's good. This is good. This is good. So, I just in case, I need to go down below. What if I stop here? Will I be invisible? Actually, just because everyone is on the other side, they won't be able to see me very easily. So I'm gonna put this Deinosuchus in a good position. I am underwater, you know, kinda. No, they might still be able to spot me if they have a keen eye. So probably not the best position. Not the best position either. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna place this Deinosuchus among those palms, little palms. And by the way, by doing this, always underwater. Always underwater. You never know if there is someone that is watching you. If someone is watching you, then yeah, you have given away your position. This is good. This is actually very good. So, I have a couple of palm trees down there. They might be able to see me or not. Going a bit here, a bit farther away. Alright, this is a good spot. This is a good spot. And here you wait and you wait. At times you're lucky, at times you aren't. So you just wait. Sometimes in half an hour you find someone that is crossing, sometimes in 5 minutes, it depends. Find yourself a good position if you are at 100%, so to say, where a position where your forepaws touch the ground, but at the same time you will be able to sniff the air and use locational scan to see possible swimmers around you. At this growth stage, again, the one thing that can that I am doing wrong is not being invisible. So I usually play like this. This is the best gameplay you can have. You keep a certain depth in water using Alt button, and then you keep moving, and hopefully there is someone crossing, but it's not a hotspot, so it's very unlikely, but you never know. On the other side, And on the other good side, other Deinosuchus players will not be able to see you unless they use locational scan, the active locational scan, not the passive one that's just there because you are too near them. If you are too close, that's already bad. That is already bad. Okay, I'm moving away, by the way. I just dropped the board there just to create more suspense for any crosser by, so to say. If anyone is deciding to cross the river there, they will do so in an anxious way, because plenty of players usually go there for drinking, to cross, even though it's kind of silly to drink there, because down here you have a super safe spot. If I remember correctly, that there is a trunk in the middle of the river. That already is a good sign. For example, you want to cross the river there. The water is super shallow, and any Deinosuchus that is big won't be able to keep their hiding. If I remember correctly, though, I'm not 100% sure. Yes, it is then. You see? I'm pressing control, and I am super visible. So this is a very good place to cross, or even to drink. It's a very good place to drink, for example. Of course, you have to keep your eyes open if there is any Deinosuchus rushing towards you, but you will have time to run away if you are paying attention to the game. If not, it will happen that you die here because of a Deinosuchus. It happens. It sucks, but it happens. Come on. So is the gameplay. Ruthless. Terrifying. Good terrifying, though. Good terrifying. And fish. So I wonder if fish... Okay. I wonder if I will be able to catch this fish. No, but anyway, I wonder if Deinosuchus will have a kind of a night vision in water at night, because at the moment we only have terrestrial / flying night vision. Anything not water related in water has night vision, and the other part that is just one playable out of 9, Deinosuchus, doesn't have night vision in water. It's like you still see the same thing at night in water as if it were day. I mean, a bit darker. It is a bit darker. Okay, I'm good to go. I'm just doing lanes, by the way. I will not move from Mossy River. If I'm lucky enough, I will find some Paki or Deino crossing. If I wanted to increase my chances of finding Paki or Deino, because I need Deino or Paki at this point. I am 18% with this nutrient. I should not have dropped the boar where I dropped it, and instead I should have stayed there instead of moving, for example. And that point I would have increased the chance of finding Deinos or Pakis. By dropping the boar, I am luring their Carnos or Utahraptors, and probably even Deinosuchus, just out of curiosity. If I hadn't dropped any carcass, the chances of any herbivore crossing would be increased. But anyway, it's not the case because I'm just moving. I do not want to stay too much in one spot at this point. I don't feel like staying in one spot, but I could very well do that. Or grow AFK too. In order to grow AFK though, I heard something on the right hand side. By the way, this is another good spot where you should come and drink, at Mossy River. If you are northwest, and north of the river northwest, just go south, cross the river of the old swamp river north, and then go south and drink here. Do that extra mile. It will be a lot safer for you to drink. It's gonna be worth it, definitely worth it. I mean, you're gonna lose a bit of time, but it's gonna be worth it, in my opinion. Worth it. It's safety before all. Safety before all. Now, what's that? Is that a trunk? Is that a floating trunk? Now, again, here, plenty of spaces where water is shallow. You have shallow water signed by these trunks in the middle of the water, in the middle of the river. If you have these trunks, it means it is kind of safe to drink, but keep your eyes open because water could be deep around you. Alright, I'm rushing back towards the first waterfall at Mossy River. No reason, just because I do not want to stand still. Or probably I will stand still, but it depends on how I feel. Here, you could do some AFK growing, for example. Not many people around, definitely not many people around. You have a lot of food. Usually you have a lot of food with Deinosuchus, and you place yourself here. For example, in a bush like this. Voila! Infinite water, because you have passive water intake. You are hiding, kinda. Not that good against other dinos, but you are not that visible either. Probably there are better spots you could hide in, but for example, use a bush. Generally speaking, use a bush to hide. Probably this is a better spot. If I had to choose, yeah, I would choose this spot. Something here where water is darker, where shadows are actually casting on water, on the terrain. Shadows can help with your hiding. Use these things to your advantage when you go AFK. Keep in mind that's always a risk. If you die going AFK, well, that's on you. Shame on you. You shouldn't do AFK. I do AFKs, and I lose a couple of dinosaurs when I do that. But it's part of the risk. It is part of the risk. There is no way someone killed my AFK Deinosuchus. There is no honor. Well, you should play actively. You should not just lay there, use it as a glorified chat. It's the more active players, actually, the better. The more active players, the better the game is. So, actually, shame on you that you did AFK. I do AFK because, come on, at times it's 5 hours, 5 long hours. Too big to swallow. Kind of hypocrite on my side, I know. But if the game hadn't any... the game itself needs you to be AFK a bit, otherwise it would be too unforgiving. For example, let's take Carnotaurus as an example. Carnotaurus hunger decay is just the worst in game. Your thirst decay out of water as a Deinosuchus is the worst in game. Imagine there is a lot of these things around. There wouldn't be any AFK at all. And the game would be more unforgiving, very unforgiving than what it already is. It's already unforgiving for under many aspects. The one thing that is coming up, for example, that is gonna make the game even more terrifying or against AFK better say the game is gonna be against AFKers as it should be with Pterodactylus. Depending on how many flocks are up in the sky of this little annoying bird, artificial intelligence, plenty of people will be given away thanks to these flocks in the sky. Imagine you see a couple of Pterodactylus going around a bush up in the sky. Under that bush there might be some Stegosaurus AFK, or probably just sitting there and using the game as a huge chat. Well, use some other software to chat probably, or just use that, but beware that there are Pterodactylus that are gonna give away your position of Stegosaurus that is growing. Again, Stegosaurus is a mess to grow. It's a true mess to grow. You need to be careful around everything, and once little Pterodactylus will be in game, Stegosaurus will be very much harder to grow than what it already is to grow now, because now you can afford to lay still in a bush for I don't know, 15 minutes at a time, and that makes those 15 minutes almost safer than moving. The less you move, the more chances you have. once Pterodactylus AI is in game, giving away your position because you are laying still for too long, and there is these vultures up in the sky rounding around your bush position, or even in the forest, well, that's gonna be annoying. That's gonna be very much annoying. I hate to grow Stegosaurus. Deinosuchus, on the other hand, probably will have other things similar to, or probably Pterodactylus will give away position of Deinosuchus AFKing in bush too. I mean, you don't go away from keyboard, Gabriele. I do go away from keyboard if I can at times. Sorry. Well, this is the first or second waterfall. It depends on where you come from. If you come from the source or you come from well, the bottom there. That's the cave, magic cave. I have reached the end. What's my growth stage, by the way? 64%. Alright, I have reached the end. There is only one thing to do. Going back. I'm not going center. I'm not going in Pocket River. That's down there. There is Pocket River. I'm not going there. No way. No way. I will do the last bit, probably. Or probably I should risk a bit. Well, it's not that time now. I'm gonna sniff the air for just to see if there is something around me. Depending on how bored I grow when growing Deinosuchus, I might decide to do some shenanigans and go back to center, or just to get Tyrannosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus, nothing else. Or probably I will just sit. That's Pachy, by the way. It might be a good idea to lay low. And to get Pachycephalosaurus and Tyrannosaurus. Otherwise, it will take the last leg, my last 25% will actually take a lot longer than just 1 hour and 15 minutes. A lot longer. Or 1 hour and, I don't know, 10 minutes, whatever it is. I don't know, 1 hour. It takes 5 hours. It takes 4 hours and a half with a perfect diet, with the 3 nutrients virtually every time. 3 nutrients, perfect diet every time. It takes 4 hours and a half to grow a Deinosuchus from a 10% spawning stage to a 100% fully grown stage. At least that's what I gathered. Then I don't know very much how fast it is to grow a Deinosuchus from 0 to 10%, depending on the diet of your parents, if you hatch from an egg. I don't use nesting system much, unfortunately. I cannot say a lot about it. Probably many players know a lot more about that. So you see how big the game is? You have a ton of different gameplays. A ton of different gameplays around. That's huge. That's great. That's great. Well, that's all for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Consider subscribing my channel, share it. If you ask me why yes, I'll tell you why not. And have a great day. Bye bye.